Court in session with me, Elk, and Avenger only one. That is Kelan Phillips. We would only be having the Bear segment tonight because Alan's off on assignment. The last time he was off on assignment is because he only in the
You do,
paper he just
you do too well.
So we'll see what happens next week. Anyway, the week that going in the Bear competition, it was a very interesting week. Starting Sunday, Pinelands took on, what was his first game? The first game was Pinelands and Celtics. And the game was a little closer than I thought it would have been.
Yeah.
That went 88-67.
Yeah,
Then the
it was a
Bulls,
2 point game and a half actually.
oh, okay. And
Yeah,
then
it was
one, and then Bulls, they played the Heat, and that was a runaway. And as we said, when the top teams play, the middle tier teams are lower tier teams, and they will be blowouts, and it continued. Celtics, they blew out the Schoolboys, and sorry, that was the last game was Bulls blowing out Heat. Then we had on Tuesday, the Celtics, they beat the Schoolboys, Common School Tridents, 92-50. Bulls was back again at it. They beat up on the Warriors. And then I had a big game, a high-scoring game, but it wasn't a big game. Where the Cavaliers scored 100 points and kept the Heat under 50. And then we had the game that was Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Right, and then the final game on Wednesday, let me see, yes.
Yeah,
The
the Lakers
Lakers
Pinelands.
and Pinelands.
Yeah.
Now, this game was a little further apart than I expected, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the Pinelands to get blown. I
Yeah.
know they're really in rebuild mode. Only Rashad Hall really is, keeping the flag flying.
Yeah.
But 94-65 was
Yeah.
a surprise to me.
Yeah. It
Uh,
was.
I think it was a surprise to everybody, including Lakers. That was a surprise that meant that the Lakers really played a good game and Portland's just capitulate. It is really sad to see how, that Portland's now find themselves fighting for relegation after like being one of the top teams in competition for at least about 4 years straight. And then we had on the 14th, which was Valentine's Day. The Cavs didn't show much love to the boys at all.
Oh,
They blew them away, held them
yeah.
held them to 63 points. Actually beat them at least 60, a little over 60 points.
Yeah.
That was a rare blow. But then the second game was the Lakers played Warriors All Stars, and that game we can talk about that game. That game was very close.
Yep.
Yeah. So you saw some of the game. So tell me,
Yeah.
how did that game go?
Yeah. It was a close game throughout. I think Warriors, I think I remember had a little bit of a lead. But then Lakers brought it back, and then it was kind of close throughout the a little bit of the third that I saw. I had to leave, but I was still following it on my phone, right? And then ended up being obviously a close game, 84-82. Keith had 17 points, 7 rebounds. Scott Warner had 18 points, eight rebounds, and 4 blocks. But Tariq Hayward, aka Lanks, as we all know him,
Yes.
he had 28 and 13, right? To obviously lead Lakers to important win. right? For them trying to get that 4th seed, they picked up 3 key wins, including one that we can talk about a little later that happened the Sunday that no finish.
Mhm.
For Warrens, Jamar King had a good game. Had 25 points, four rebounds. Donnie had 12 points and 10 rebounds, and a double double. Carlos also had 11 and 11, and Manny had 12.6 rebounds and 11 assists. Right, he's kind of been their man playmaker for them. I can't remember how much assists he's averaging, but I believe it's more than 5 or 6. Right, he's been their man playmaker. As we had said before, that 4th spot was probably going to come down to either Lakers or Warriors. And interestingly enough, we thought Pine would have been the team for relegation, but they're kind of maybe sneaking their way into that conversation for that fourth seed. That is why, as you said, we all thought that Lakers Pinelands game was kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
Because based on the results that, as I said, we can talk about on Sunday, that might not be an indication of the gap between those teams. Right? It might be, yeah. So it might have been a bad night for one, a good night for another. But what we will say is that it does put them a little behind the 8 ball, because now if Pinelands want a chance, they can't tie with Lakers, because Lakers, I find it very hard to believe that Pinelands gonna know blow Lakers by 30 something points.
Yeah.
Right? So Lakers would then have to probably lose to Warrens this time, and then but that would put Warrens ahead. So it's some steep climbing for Pinelands, but considering that we thought that they were going to be the relegation team, you can probably say they're exceeding expectations.
Correct.
So
I think they're doing a little better than I thought they would do.
yeah, a lot better.
But I don't know if they're doing better or if the competition is not that great. I don't want to say the competition is not that great because everybody fighting for the same thing.
Correct.
And I think that they're really showing some grit. I
Yep.
think the idea for Pinelands really is to regroup, so they're trying to keep their head above water this season, and then hopefully by next season having a couple of people with some Premier League minutes under the belt, and
Yeah.
may be able to lure a couple of people,
Mhm.
and get better. But the pool in Premier League is fairly small, and two teams were destroyed to create the Celtics. It was the demise of the Spartans and now the demise of Pinelands. And that formed Celtics. And but I think if Pinelands decided that they will try to keep the head above water, they probably might pick up a couple schoolboys or or somebody may come back. You never know how things go.
Yeah.
So I think they are working towards just keeping the head above water this season and then try to see if they can rebuild coming next season. Now, it's a tragedy as to where they have come. It showed uh, a lot of maybe succession planning. I won't say that. But I understood why some of the moves were made. Well, I understood why Charles Vanderpool left. I would expect that he's the assistant national coach and he should really be coaching the team in the Premier League. He can't be assistant national coach and then be assistant somebody in the Premier League.
Agree.
So I understood why he left. Some of the other people though, it was a little strange. Coming up through the ranks of Pinelands, playing from under 16 right up, and then just leave the club and let them floundering. So some people tell me it's something that I wouldn't understand. I don't understand what I'm finding difficult to understand is whatever problem it was, I think it could be worked out, right? Have a little meeting and have the meeting in the minds and do what's best for the club. Leaving the club and then letting them get relegated. or in relegation talk. No, to me it was, to me that I don't know if that made a lot of sense. You left your team and met somebody else's team better. But this is amateur basketball. Nobody is, they're nothing, no contracts, no anything like that. So, we can safely say, well, the fellas went to make themselves happy. Because apparently joy is the thing now in basketball.
One thing I will say though, you said that is something that you think could be worked out, and I will say, well, Nico Harrison didn't think that, so
Well, that's
if
true.
he didn't think that he could work out with Luca,
Yeah. So that means my conclusion, whatever I say there, just not avoiding. I mean, if you could trade Luca, I mean, anybody could live anywhere.
It's true.
Right, right. So we go. So then we had further down the week.
On Sunday, yeah.
Right, it was Schoolboys versus Lakers.
I think before that we had Plainlands and Warrens.
Right, Pointers and Warrens. We had Pointers and Warrens,
Yeah.
and that game was very close.
Yeah.
Pointers came out winners, and I think that put them ahead of Warrens for the time being.
Yeah.
So Warrens now
Yeah.
will be battling with Heat, not to be that second last team because the Schoolboys don't usually get relegated. So
yeah.
So
Warriors already beat Heat, so that's something for them in terms of a thing above too.
So we'll see how it goes because this basketball is going on in a hurry. Because let me tell you, at the end of, I think this week, the first round is finished.
Yeah.
Right. So now we go from Pinelands beating Warrens 7-3, 6-7. Then we had the Schoolboys playing Lakers. Now, this is a game that Lakers had to win if they were to keep themselves in for that fourth spot. It was a close. Well, it started out as a blow. But I think what has happened is Lakers are short-handed, and the Schoolboys just
they only had 6 people. Yeah, they only had 6 people.
Men, and then some people were playing with San Nichols from Lakers, so they barely held on due to Keith Burkett. They held on to beat these boys, and that's a statement win for them because now they are 3-2. After the first 2 games, they are 3-2.
Yeah.
Now the teams behind them now under a little bit of stress. What they need to do now is to make sure to beat the Heat, and in this first round, and then they would be sitting pretty in that fourth spot. It would be fairly difficult for them. Well, they will have to capitulate or just implode in the second round, for the teams to really catch them.
Yeah.
Then we had Celtics playing the Heat. I used to watch that game. The Heat, like me honestly, they didn't look too bad. I didn't know if Celtics had the foot on the gas though. It seems like Celtics were just content to just win the game. So I don't think they really had the foot on the gas, but
these are also 2 teams that practice with each other too anyway.
Right.
So they kind of would have known each other. So maybe Heat would have been a little bit more comfortable just, playing against guys that, they kind of play with all the time.
Yeah, that interesting dynamic of one player who plays for the Celtics, coaching the Heat. That interesting dynamic was played out.
Yeah.
I must say the Heat didn't look too bad in that game. I don't think Lakers and Pinelands and Warrens have to be very careful. Because if he get a rhythm, I think they could get some trouble. Not that they will win come in the fourth spot. I would be surprised if they from here to get to the fourth spot, but they could get some trouble, and you need to beat them. And 1 or 100, you have to make sure you win the game. Yeah. But the big game of this Sunday was the Bulls and the Cavaliers. I watched that game. Cavaliers was kind of short-handed. Bulls, to me, the game was close until I think midway through the third quarter. Darren Hurley got hot, and I think that was the game right there. He hit like 3 or 4 trees back to back, and then it was like Cavaliers will always have a problem if they have a big deficit going into the fourth quarter because they don't shoot many trees. Once the other team could keep the momentum going, they would find themselves behind the 8 ball. Not to say that they will lose every time, but I'm saying it's a little bit more difficult. They have what the fella that it's called he Barbados KD. That is that. I mean he's a 2 point, he's a mid-range killer, right?
Yeah.
He gets 3 point shots sparingly though.
Yeah.
But once he has that low turn over that shoulder, he will kill you all night. And he was really playing well.
Yeah.
A couple of times though, I think they got away from the plot. They started out trying to get the ball inside, which I thought was smart. And because I think Bulls is a little thin on the inside. But what happened is what you Bulls usually do from the time I was playing. They don't have many big men, but the 1, 2, and 3 is put so much pressure on the 1, 2, and 3 of the other team that they can't get the ball inside as they would like. So it started off, Bulls was playing soft on the outside and the ball was getting inside. From the time they raised the level of physicality and raised the level of pressuring the ball, I think Cavaliers had problems getting the ball inside, and then people started to get a little restless and start taking shots out of character, and it got away from them. And then what I found is they start worrying more about the offense and they're not worrying about the defense. And then Darion just had like 4 or 5 open trees. I mean, people weren't even close to him. I mean, after the first 2, you say, okay, let's them get close at least, right? And then he really blew up in the game. And then from there, it was just a matter of exchanging baskets and went down the stretch. I'm still a little disappointed a couple of people playing. My disappointment, I think, but it's early in the season, and I think they will of course, they'll be better, because the games are coming fast, so they will get better. I was not happy with to me, I think Simeon guard player was a little off to me on that game. I mean, he scored double figures, don't get me wrong, but I still feel last year he played way better than that, especially in that final. He was unconscious. I think he's getting too deep on the inside, and then but not high degree difficulty misses, as opposed to just get everybody involved and then you pick your spots like what he was doing last time. I saw that Raheem looked a little hobbled, but he did his bit. The veteran guard, he knew exactly what to do. Coming on the stretch, he was the man that just just calm down things and just get the ball to who was scoring, and that was the end of that. Marsh had some foul trouble. I think he got a little smarter than how he's playing. He should be picking up ticky-tack fouls, slapping that man after the ball, after the man passed it and slap at them. And
oh boy,
knows that he needs to be in the game. He doesn't have to play 40, but he has to play a major part of it. And he is your best. He's your best rebounder. He's the shot blocker. He's play on the offensive side. He can play inside on or outside. So he's like a triple threat. But if he's spending time on the bench, he's a triple threat. Yes, but a threat for the court. I know for the other team. But that game was really good. I enjoyed it. I like the chess match between the coaches. And I think that Bulls won the game. I didn't expect them to win by 14 points though. I thought the game would be closer than that. They were down 10 early in the first quarter, I think it was. But that was mainly because I think they got away from their plot as well. So then everything went here away from there. But they were able to regroup, and And I expect that the players, I expect Simeon to play better. Um, I expect Marsh to play better. I expect Raheem, once Raheem is fully fit, he'll be back to being Raheem. So I'm Winter to me was a disappointment. And why I say that is because when he was at schoolboys, he was I mean he was killer. I mean, like you can leave him open at 2 point range. Now I notice he's jacking up trees, and everybody knows Draymond Green. Everybody real passionate about a dunk, and right. But to me, his defense was lousy, and his offense to me, um, he wasn't as sharp as he was when he played with schoolboys. And I think he needs to be sharper until like Bang comes in, somebody another big, so that he'll be able to play his natural position like round the three spot.
Yeah.
But Bulls, I take my hat off the Bulls every time. There's player with what they have and they work it really well. I thought your guy Darion is a good addition, and he's a very good offensive rebounder. A lot of people don't know that he's hit the
Yeah.
offensive boards, and he's like caused a lot of people a lot of stress. But he did have his outside shot going, and that was it.
Yeah. The thing about Winters too is and even Darion, and I commend them a lot for it because there is different roles, different environments, right? Darion obviously coming from playing and starting almost his entire career. There's no coming off the bench. Same with Winters who been starting, especially a lot as his game has gotten a lot better. He was the main guy on schoolboys. So no, it is an adjustment. I know for a fact in terms of not necessarily getting the same type of shots that he would have before. In terms of having to pick his spots a little, this is probably the first, in my opinion, I guess I would say down game offensively, and I said down in quotation because I think every other game he had like at least 15. I think he's averaging like 17, 18, right? So
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a scrub or anything.
yeah, no,
He's a
yeah,
decent player, and he has some ability. I'm
yeah,
saying, I maybe it's too early. Sometimes I'm probably being too hard on him. So maybe I should wait a couple more games and see how it goes. But I think in that game, to me, he was not as effective as you would have liked. But he did play a decent game. When Marsh was out, he was able to, just keep himself.
yeah,
He has to understand that you're going to be short-handed most nights. Because once Marsh goes to the bench, he will become like one of the bigger people.
yeah, the big,
So,
yeah,
right. So he gonna need to be able to rebound the basketball and keep it afloat while Marsh, catch himself on the bench and come back.
yeah.
But
We also
well,
still got having Rashid too, because Rashid's a
oh,
guard, but like still
yeah,
being able to
he's a utility. He's a utility belt. He's a utility player. You can put him
yeah,
anywhere, right?
yeah,
You can
it's
play
true.
a point. You can play a wing. You can put him
Yeah,
on a big man. He's a
it's
smart
true.
player. So yeah,
Yeah,
Rashid is a plus. But you're
yeah,
still small
yeah.
when Akeem go to the game, Marsh go to the game.
The only
But
good thing I would say is that the rest of the teams are really not big either. So like,
yeah, I said
so that's it.
for Cavaliers, because Cavaliers
I
is
said,
pretty big.
yeah,
Um, and they were missing, I think it was Saeed out
so
there.
yeah,
Right. And they're still there. I don't conquer Cavaliers. You can't conquer Cavaliers in anything. I mean, like they play how they play,
yeah,
and you either beat them or they run you over.
it's true.
Right? Yeah, that's how Cavaliers play. And you gotta take a hat off to them. So that was just one game, and I expect that the next time they meet, their games might be a little closer. I will not try to predict who will win,
I
but
hope not.
we'll see. We'll see. I know, of course, you would not like the game to be close, but
I love
um,
you to win by 50 every single
yeah,
time.
well, not, well, I would like, if my mom had a mustache, she made that, right? You know what I mean? So I know how I know you right for a lot of things. but that doesn't mean it's going to come true.
It's
Um,
true.
so then it is this coming week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the first game is tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Right.
Playing
Tomorrow we
and
have Plainlands and Heat.
yeah,
That should be an interesting game.
it's true.
For more ways
Agree.
than one, I think Heat will put a good show.
Yeah.
We have then we have the Cavaliers
Cavs
versus the
and
Lakers.
Lakers.
I think that might be a bloodbath.
The one thing I would say, it could be a little bit of a test to see maybe how far Lakers are in terms of that next tier because they've no rattle off 3 wins in a row. Maybe they've found some things that might work. Maybe they have a little bit of a momentum. So this could be a little bit of a test to see, hey, okay, how are we doing in terms of, is there anything that we have progressed in those last 3 games? We can, hey, either way, go, or we can find out. Either it can be good or it can be bad. So we at least find out something.
Yeah, so that should be interesting. That game should be
Yeah.
an interesting game. I know the Cavaliers just lost, so they are not going to be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I hope that Lakers understand that what is coming next. It will not be roses and chocolate. You understand?
Yeah.
So and then after that we have that is on that is Wednesday, and then
Start
on
on
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, you have the schoolboys and Bulls, and all
Mm,
things being equal, Bulls should take that game. And then we have Warriors versus Celtics. All things being
mm,
equal, I would think the Celtics will take that game.
yeah.
And then on Sunday, we
Sunday.
have a real interesting set of games. The first game of the afternoon is Warriors versus
Schoolboys.
Tridents.
Yeah.
And we say schoolboys and Tridents, so we mean the same team.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right, so that is the Warriors All Stars versus the Common Schools Tridents. That should be an interesting game. Finals will take on the Cavaliers. I think the Cavaliers should really round out the run on a high note. Lakers versus the Heat. This will be an interesting game, irrespective of what happened. Lakers game before against Cavaliers. If they
Yeah.
could beat Heat, they would be 4-3 in the round and
Yep.
in fourth position,
Yeah.
and that would more or less put the others on notice. They will have to really work hard to get that fourth position. I think Lakers still trying to work out some stuff, but I think we'll see if they work it out. But they would need that win. That would be a signature win for them. And then to round off the to round off the first round, we will have Burger King Capitals versus 246 Mobile Shop City United Celtics. It probably is the clash of the longest names in basketball. Well, not Burger King Clapham Bulls, but called Lakers is what Island Care
Air
Ambulance
ambulance service and
body
body.
by B Lakers. I mean, like,
Lakers. Yeah.
okay, I mean, like, oh Lord. So, but the City United Celtics, they'll play Bulls. That should be an excellent game. That should be a game that everybody should be turned up to watch. It is two unbeaten teams. It is two teams that got in the final last year. It will be a cracker jacker. I hope everyone's healthy. Once everyone's healthy, then I expect this will be a top-notch game. Celtics, I think they come with this. Well, they play the numbers game, and we'll see if the numbers game work for them. Bulls play a little bit differently. They also shoot threes, but they also try to create turnovers. Try to push people into doing rubbish. But they would have like the national point guard to play against, that is Darren Hurley, and he doesn't really turn over basketball. And so we'll see how that goes. But I will think right now I can call a winner. I would say it can be close, and whoever execute going down the stretch they end up winning a game. Marsh has to keep on foul trouble. If he's not in foul trouble, then it could be a long night for the Celtics. Because really, Celtics don't have anybody inside this to really touch Marsh. actually, there ain't got many people in Barbados can touch Mark. So once he kicks inside and really put his work in on the inside, he should have a field there. But the same thing Bulls do, the Celtics do. They put pressure on your 1, 2, and 3 to make it difficult to get the ball on the inside. So we'll see how that one goes. But I expect that the Celtics will be hoping to end the round unbeaten after bringing over all these players. I mean, like, you get better, you expect to move one step. You should be losing again to the champions. So we'll see how that will work out. What do you think, Avenger only one, being part of this whole big, this first round? It should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be. Celtics are a very good team as we've seen so far in the first round. It should be two unbeaten teams, as you said, and also kind of, but not really it's not really a big deal. But the winner of this match would then also be the first seed in the knockout round, and then kind of have a slightly easier path, maybe to the finals, right? Then, if I can remember how the seeding goes or whatever, if they get whoever gets the 1 seed will probably have opposite Cavs. So therefore, Cavs and whoever the loser of this game is going to be on the same bracket. So then that is a potential semifinal match. I'm not saying that either of them will lose to them, but Cavs, as we have established, always play a type of game where they're always in games and they always have a chance, right? So I think it should be a very good match as the numbers game. As you said, the Celtics played the numbers game. Bulls are a little bit more versatile in their scoring in terms of less trees, a little bit more tools inside, a little bit mid-range, whatever. Both teams have excellent guards, excellent wings. Bulls have the advantage in terms of obviously having Marsh, but Charlie's also a very good coach, the assistant national coach. So I think he's going to have obviously a plan for us. And I'm hoping, well, not hoping, I know that Bulls coach also has a plan for them as well.
Yeah, I hope his plan is working because then it will not work very well. You don't want anybody to leave hurt. Right. So last week we had a phenomenon. We could call it phenomenon. The player of the week last week was Kelan Phillips. He averaged for that week 34.5 points a game. He had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and he had 6 steals for a week. So that he was player of the week. He was the peak player of the week. Kelan Phillips he's from Fusion Boutique, Station Hill Cavaliers. Apparently, everybody
got long names. No,
long names. I mean, like
smart assurance agent incorporated. Heat. Everybody, they body care. Burger King, Fusion. The only people that got short names is like Pinelands, Warren.
Everybody else here real low.
Is that you got a really low name or a really short name? It ain't even that in between.
There's no middle ground. But congrats to Kelan. I'm really glad to see he's back. At least he's looking like himself. Because he had an injury, he broke his collarbone or something like that. So he was out for a little bit. So he's now really getting back into game shape. He's a little heavy for me. Obviously because he wasn't really putting in the amount, where he can't lift and stuff. Then his shoulder is bad. So but he's a little too heavy for me, but he's getting back into shape and he will be a handful for anyone. Once he gets back to, he's a fella who can shoot from outside. He's quick. He's aggressive. All right. And if you blink, he might dunk on you. So, he is a dynamic player and I'm really glad to see that he's back. So Kelan Phillips, the player of the week. And that is it for our courting session. For right now, the court is adjourned.